Guys, welcome back for another adventure as we continue our trip in Coron. In this episode, I'll be taking you with me on an island hopping tour, visiting some of the island's most iconic destinations, filled with white sandy beaches, crystal blue waters, and stunning landscapes. Good morning, gang. We have another diving tour booked through for today. To pick you up from the hotel is awesome. First class service right here.
Today we're headed up to Kayangan Lake, CYC Beach and Quinn Reef. I booked the tour through Get Your Guide for about 1,650 pesos, and included in that you get your hotel pickup and transfer, all the environmental or entrance fees included, as well as lunch on the day. So altogether it's about an 8-hour tour, and after learning how to freedive properly yesterday, I'm really looking forward to see what we find in these spots. So let's go.
So I don't actually have my own mask and snorkel, but the good thing is if you need it, you can rent one on the day. Alright, cool. And it's pretty easy to rent it. It's only like 150 pesos for mask and snorkel. And how much is it for the
same suit?
150 as well? Alright, so altogether it'll be about 300 pesos for the mask, snorkel, and fins. It's pretty decent, so a bit under $10 and you rent it all day. Alright, so we'll try these on and then we get going. So actually, let me correct that. So it's 150 for the short fins, but if you want long fins, it costs a little bit more, and you do get a pretty good selection over here. Guys, we've just arrived at our first destination. This one's called Lagoon, and it's easy to see how it gets its name. And just over there, where we will be swimming shortly, you can kind of see how emerald green the waters are, and it's going to be perfect for snorkeling. There was an option to do kayaking as well, but it just wasn't my thing. I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. But man, like getting to this part of the island, and it is just a spectacular sight. That's where the main Coron town is, and so we're not too far off. It was about a 30-minute ride, but I kind of just want to get in the water and kind of see, I guess, you know, similar stuff that we saw yesterday, and maybe I can dive a little bit more, but it kind of looks like it's one of those places that's just meant for snorkeling. So I'm going to take the drone up and kind of see what sort of shots we can get before we dive in. So let's have a look. And after taking some drone shots for the gram, it was time to dive in. On the surface, the waters didn't look too calm for your typical snorkeling trip, but underneath was a whole different story. It was an absolutely serene world teeming with sea life in every direction that you looked. And after spending a lot of time taking in the beautiful sights of Green Lagoon, it was time to head over to our next location. Guys, we've just docked in on Sunset Beach. This place is beautiful. There's a bit of a sandbar where you can just relax with some cottages, and the sand is super soft. I cannot even put into words how beautiful it is. This is just one of those places you have to go see for yourself. I mean, look at the color of these waters. Crystal clear. You can see my feet. The rocks hurt. You know, one thing I gotta say though is you definitely gotta invest in those water chutes. Walking to some of these beaches, the rocks just kill you, like absolutely take you. But anyway, back to what I was saying, in terms of the in terms of the scenery around here, just have a look at that. I mean, you're just surrounded by these towering cliffs that just head straight into the ocean. Lunch is ready, and so let's go have some lunch, and then we'll take a couple more, maybe some drone shots, and let's see what else we can kind of find and explore this little part of the island. So. just finished having lunch here on Sunset Beach, and I'm so full. They're so nice. They prepare the food while you guys are doing your tour throughout the day, and had quite a bit to eat, as you would have seen. To be honest, there's not much to do. There's just a little bit of a sandbar to explore. I don't think, not that I would, I've got like sandals on, but I don't think I'm going to explore any of these mountains anyway. But it would be really cool to get the drone up there. It just looks way too high, and I want to really conserve some battery for later.
Although Sunset Beach was beautiful and it made for a nice pit stop for lunch, I wouldn't put it at the top of my places to visit in Coron. But our next and final location on this tour definitely should be.
Guys, we've just arrived in our last stop. If you've thought about going Coron, I'm sure you would have heard of Kayangan Lake, and it is just as beautiful and probably more than the last stops. If you just have a look at some of these waters, you get this clear turquoise aqua blue sort of look. The only downside is it's mandatory that you have to wear a life vest in Kayangan Lake, so there's not going to be any drone shots for this one because I just couldn't be bothered really bringing down the whole bag, which is a shame really, because I would have wanted to take some aerial views of the spot, but you know, you just gotta take what you get, I guess. So we're heading there now, and maybe just go for a quick dip. After a big lunch like that, I was ready to knock out. I think everyone's getting a bit pretty much tired after island hopping. I think the good thing is about coming towards the end of the day is there's not so, actually there's a lot of boats, my bad, there's a lot of boats. But it doesn't look as busy as I thought it might have been, or it could have been anyway. And yeah, so we're just gonna round out the trip here, enjoy a little bit of a dip. If you are feeling a little peckish, there's places you can buy some snacks and some drinks. And this ones I've got it really lined up. I would have brought my wallet had I known there was that option to do that. But I think we're heading over to one of the peaks, take some pictures over there, and then go for a dip in the lake. Round out, and that pretty much will round out the trip. So let's see what sort of footage we can get, and I'll share the experience. Alright, so it looks like there's a bit of cardio. It's 100 plus something steps on the way up, 200 something on the way down. I don't know if I've just eaten too much food while I've been here, but my cardio has been destroyed. Could be the humidity, I'm not sure. All I know is these steps are killing me.
Don't mind me complaining about the cardio on the way to the top, because it does make for some good picture taking, as you can see with this lovely couple that were also on the tour. The short trek was worth it, particularly to get to Kayangan Lake.
Wow. Alright, I think there definitely was a plus side to this being the last stop of the tour, because I've seen other YouTube videos where people have come to this place and it's just overrun with bright yellow jackets, but at this stage there's hardly anyone in here, you know, a few select groups, but yeah, this is it. Check this out. And just behind you as you're swimming, I can picture this, how beautiful this is going to be already. It's just encompassed by all these limestone cliffs towering right over you, providing just the perfect amount of shade. And what a way to wrap up the tour. I think it's just time to take a relaxing swim at this stage. There's not much to really, I don't think it's one of those places you need to dive much further down, so I'm looking forward to just getting in the lake, having a bit of a swim. I think we've got about 45 minutes stop over here, and then we head back to town. Let's go for a swim.
guide just kind of went around with me and started showing me, I guess, like areas to do a bit of free diving, and we just explored some of the caves. I don't call it caves, like there were just some little wedges in between the rocks, and that was probably the best part about this whole trip so far. So I think I got some pretty cool footage. I'm just chilling it out at the moment, trying to catch my breath, but perfect way to end the tour. Again, it's starting to build up with more tourists coming through. And it's getting a lot busier, that's for sure. But the guy gave us an extra 30 minutes because I think some of the people on the tour are going to kayak at the moment. I didn't get a kayak because Siebes, that's tiring. But I just want to just lay around here. So just taking the view at the moment. Look at this, look at all this. Like I was saying, guys, the entire lake itself is encompassed by all these limestone cliffs, all these trees just surrounding you. It is gorgeous here. Fun fact, the Kayangan Lake is 70% freshwater and 20% saltwater, and hence you can drink 70% of it. Look at that in the distance. You get the sunbeam coming through, illuminating the side of the cliff face, and here is kind of just its own little, I don't know, its own little haven, really. And all I see is the yellow jackets. Let's see how deep it is.
After a few more dives around the lake, it was time to head home. Something worth mentioning is that as part of this tour, we also got to visit CYC Beach, which is pictured here, which was a beautiful little beach, and it did have the clearest water out of the entire tour. And as gorgeous as it was, there wasn't much to do, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time covering it in this vlog, but I am glad we got to visit nonetheless. Overall, it's easy to see why this tour package is one of the most popular options. The locations you visit are so picturesque, like something straight out of a postcard. And as beautiful as they were on social media, nothing beats seeing it for yourself in person. So this tour is something I highly recommend you do for when you visit. By now, the notion of solo travel had really started to grow on me. The thrill of adventure, exploring new places, and trying new things, it's a feeling I can't properly explain, but something that has to be experienced. I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll wrap up the Coron series by visiting another one of the island's most famous destinations, followed by one of the most epic sunsets you'll ever see.